You're probably here because you're finding it a little bit difficult and finding your way about leadership, finding your way on how to manage people well, and finding your way on how to grow your business as an entrepreneur. Any one of these things are the topics that we cover. I'm your host, Sean C., aka Mr. CEO at 22. I am so glad that you took the first step of being here to learn more about leadership, entrepreneurship, and management because the world needs more people like you. We will help you to invest in yourself because that's something that is worth doing. That is something that is worth learning. If you have questions about entrepreneurship, maybe you're having problems at work or you're having some leadership problems or managing other people, boy, I have news for you. We have what we call a masterclass. Most of the courses in the masterclass deal with how you can generate revenue online. It deals with leadership, how to lead in crisis, how to break through the crisis in business, in entrepreneurship, and how you can manage other people better. Now, I always say the best kind of investment is an investment in yourself. And how much money are we charging for this masterclass? Not a lot. And if you invest in one, it's yours to keep. And if it doesn't, I'll refund you, no questions asked, full refund. So why don't you try it out? Head on over to sean.c/masterclass and check out any one of the courses if it fits any one of the questions in your head. And if you have any questions, you can just put it on the comment section and we'll get in touch with you. We want to know who you are and we want to hear from you. Until then, keep leading.
All right. Hey guys, Happy New Year. And I know it's been a couple of days already since it was the new year 2022, but this is the first time that we're going live again this year. So I just want to greet you all a happy new year. Um, 2022 started not on the most fantastic foot, right? Because of the virus, and a lot of people have it. I don't know about you guys, but in my circle of friends and influence, I know a lot of people who have the virus, and thank God that it's not deadly, and people don't really need to, be admitted to the hospital because of the symptoms and effects of the virus. But it's still it's still a virus. You still can get sick. You still can transmit that to other people. So, it's best to stay at home. And it is affecting our stock market. It is affecting the economy. We were hoping for a very strong rebound this year as we were entering 2022, but that doesn't seem likely now, at least in the first quarter. Hopefully, in the second quarter, it would be a lot better because a lot of people are predicting that this is the way to get herd immunity, because if you get the Omicron virus, it's easy for you to get better, and it's not really that grave in terms of its effects. So let's see if they're right. I hope that they are. And yeah, all we could do is pray and thank God, and really, accept the good and the bad from Him, and hope that this turns out well. This is prayer and fasting week for our church. If you didn't know, I attend CCF for Christ Commission Fellowship, and it is a week of prayer and fasting. I might come out a little bit slow because I am fasting dinner, and I hope that I'm still able to address the questions and give value to all of you who are watching here. So, I just want to share with you guys what's been happening with the Leadership Stack podcast. We have not stopped publishing on Spotify. And if you haven't followed us yet, it's so easy to just hit the follow button. If you do want to get all of the stuffs that we put out, we talk about entrepreneurship, leadership, and management. And we have published the episodes with Miss Jan Cavell. And I love this episode because she is or was, she is a single mom as she started her business and as she made it grow, and she did make it grow, and she did all of the hustle and the grind of growing a startup to what it was. And it's just the typical story, of a startup entrepreneur, but couple that with being a single mom. I mean, that's really, really tough, really, really difficult what she went through. And we talked about the compelling scalability lessons for business owners. So if you're a business who you have proof of concept, your startup is catching steam, you're gaining momentum, you want to scale, gusto mo nang palakihin, you want to invest more capital, this might be a very, very good episode for you. And another one is when to switch from startup to leadership. So again, this is a topic talks about scaling, because there comes a time in your business's life when you stop being the you know the janitor, the accountant, the lawyer, the salesperson, everything. You just stop wearing all of those different hats, and you just have to start leading your people, just hiring people to replace you in those jobs so that you can focus on leading. And this is one episode where we talked about that. Really good stuff. And then we released our episodes about um, how to keep going when you're unmotivated, how to introduce new ideas in business. You might want to check those out if you missed them. We did release episodes last week as well. I didn't get to introduce that to you guys because we didn't have our Ask Me Anything or our Leadership Stack Live last week. So if you missed that, it's all here. We do have these are AMAs as well. So if you've missed any one of my AMAs, maybe these are the ones. You might want to tune into them. A lot of people have tuned into how to keep going when you're unmotivated already. I don't know. Maybe it's because New Year's resolution, and a lot of people's New Year's resolution aren't turning up so well. Maybe, I'm not sure, but a lot of people have played this already. So you might want to check that out. And all of these are also on YouTube. So if you haven't subscribed on YouTube yet, please do so. It's leadme.ph/YouTube. The link is right there. Thank you, Lara, for that. And you could subscribe to YouTube if you are a little bit more visual and you'd want to see me or my guest speaking instead of just hearing me talk. So, uh, without further ado, I just want to start on the list of questions we have for tonight. Okay, question from V. One of the top leadership trends this year is the creation of a culture of well being. What are your thoughts on that? I think that it should not really be like an initiative. It should be the norm, right? I think it should be the norm. Culture of well-being. I think well-being should be focused on by leaders. So in SEO Hacker, when the pandemic hit, it wasn't a difficult decision for us to declare work from home. Immediately March 2020, we declared work from home, and we didn't even need to argue about it. It was like top of mind because our employees' well-being is super important for us. Right? So we declared that, and we prioritized their health over work, over business. And I just want to say that your people who have a spirit of gratitude in them will thank you for it, and we will be more loyal to you for that because you showed loyalty to them by protecting them and their family, by saying, we don't want to expose you, we don't want to risk you, so stay at home, you can do your work from there, whatever you can do, you can do it from there. Right? So in SEO Hackers case, that's what we did. Again, I'm not saying if you're not making people work from home, that's bad. There are some businesses that cannot really have a work from home type of operations. I respect that, right? They really need to make people go to work. But if you are going to make your people go to work, make sure that you have the right safety protocols and you go beyond the minimum safety protocols for your people to show them that you really care about their safety and well being. So, for me, it shouldn't really be a trend, it should be the norm, right? That's my opinion, my take on this question. I hope that helps me. Next question: how do you help your employees balance the demands of work with taking care of their physical and mental health. I think that, and I know a lot of people struggle with this. I personally have struggled with balancing my physical health and my spiritual health with work. Last year, and I did write a blog entry about it called Missing Burnout in my blog, sean.c/ideas. And I was burned out and I didn't even know it. Like, if here's the thing, if you love what you do, if you're so passionate about what you do, if you love serving other people, sometimes you don't know it, but you're burning the candle on both ends and you're burning out. And that's what happened to me last year. I was getting worse in terms of my physical health towards the end of the year. And my spirit was becoming more critical instead of more loving, instead of more being more gracious to others. I was becoming more critical, I was becoming short tempered. So when I realized that this year, I resolved to change that and make sure that I do have breaks in place and make sure that I prioritize my exercise, as well as make sure that I do have, on top of my quiet time, the time of meditation, thinking about God, His kingdom, and also extending my prayer time. So that helps me a lot. And I struggled with that, or I failed in that. I missed that out. And I think a lot of people miss that out as well, especially those people who love what they do. I think those are the ones most susceptible to burning out. Like, if people love what they do, they're most susceptible to burning out. Because if people are just working because they see their job as a 9 to 5 pay, pay for work, work for pay, I don't think they're gonna burn themselves out. I think these are the people who are not gonna burn themselves out because they're just working for pay. They're not working for a bigger purpose. They're not working for the vision of the founder, or they haven't bought into the vision. They don't care, right? They just care about the work, the pay from the work, and the 9 to 5 hours, and that's it. So I don't think these people need to see or check if they're gonna burn themselves out. But those who love their work, they're the ones who need to um, have those checks within themselves. And for me, how I do it is I write about it. I'm not a fantastic micromanager in telling people what to do. So, but if I do notice someone is exhibiting signs of burning out, like they don't feel like going to work anymore, or they're short tempered, I ask them what's up. And sometimes they just need to take a 1 or 2 day vacation, just relax, rewind, and think about their outlook in life and their near future. And that helps a lot. That does help a lot. But in terms of like how we help our people in the team, it's more of setting an example and also giving advice. That's it. And I know I haven't been a fantastic example of that because last year was a really, that last year was it was an extremely busy year for SEO Hacker. We were super busy. It was a big blessing. We got a lot of clients come in, but we were also super busy, and that really um, that really burned me out in a way. But I didn't notice that. So until it was December, and I finally took some breaks, and I realized, wow, this is a really good vacation. And yeah, I was burned out. Yeah, I was burned out. That's when I realized, yeah, it's probably burned out because I took breaks and I felt a lot better. I felt like a new man. So yeah, that's when you love what you do, sometimes you miss burnout. You don't see the signs, you don't feel it. And could get dangerous, I think, in that sense. So really putting some vacation days, planning it ahead, I think is key for me this year. Do you have any plans to put permanent holistic well-being mechanisms in place? It sounds nice, but like for me, taking care of yourself as well as growing yourself is something that you have to have as a discipline as a human being. not because you're part of a specific working environment. You have to have that as a human being. You have to know how to take care of yourself as a human being. You have to know how to make sure that you get exercise as a human being. You don't outsource that to your workplace, right? So outsourcing that to your work environment is not going to be healthy for you, because what if you lose that job? What if you lose that working environment? What happens now to you? Are you going to grow a lot unhealthier? Are you going to grow more obese? Are you going to grow more sick, right? So I don't think that it is a workplace thing. I think this one is a matter of personal discipline. And that is how you're going to sustain it and make it grow. We do have some initiatives to have a group Zoom exercise, but that's not like every week. That's volunteer basis. That's those are initiatives by the HR team, and it's not something that I think we're gonna put a lot of thought and effort for as a company, because it is something that I think is a very basic thing and a very basic requirement as a human being. You have to know how to take care of yourself. Okay. What are the current practices you have for empowering employees? Do you have plans to review and possibly revise them? If not, what are your plans to start empowering? Empowerment for me is all about having your people's backs when they make mistakes, right? That's how you empower people. Instead of telling them, you made a mistake and that's really bad and you shouldn't do that again, if you tell them you made a mistake, that's okay. Learn from it and try not to do that again, because you and I both know that you have learned from it already and we've evaluated the mistake together. And I expect you not to do that again. And I believe you can avoid doing that again. If you say it that way and if you mean it that way, it is much more empowering for your team member, for your employee, for your personnel to go ahead and have more initiatives on their own. And it's much more encouraging to them as well from the soul level to feel better about themselves and about their work, and not to fear making mistakes. Because if you have a team full of people who fear making mistakes, it's like you're managing 4 or 5 year olds that they're just too afraid to move, and you have to tell them everything that you want before they move, and it makes for hello, hello. I think my mic got unplugged. There you go. All right, I'm back. So, yeah, empowerment for me is not really the come on, let's go, hurrah, hurrah. It's not really just all talk and hyping your people. It's not that. It's more of making sure your people know that when they make mistakes, it's gonna be okay, and you have their backs, and it's a learning event for them. And for the business owner, what that means is when they okay, hello, hello, all right. What that means is when they make a mistake, that you are willing to pay for that mistake. And that's really what it means to be a business owner. You're gonna be hiring some people. They're new. They don't really know how to do the work the way you do it or the way your team does it, and they're gonna make mistakes. And you're gonna have to be willing to pay for that mistake. And the benefit for the employee is they can make mistakes, and you get to pay their tuition fee plus their salary, right? For so that is the beauty of being employed. You get to learn at the expense of the business owner. But also, you don't want to hire a lot of employees who just keep on making mistakes and repeated mistakes, right? Because that's going to ruin your business and that's going to ruin your team. So I hope that helps. Um, Justin, hello. Thank you for tuning in. Tuned in from YouTube. How are you? And Happy New Year. What's the best way to become a successful entrepreneur? Well, success first define your sorry guys, technical difficulties. Technical difficulty, ito lang mic ko na nandito eh. No? Medyo nagtotopak siya. So, yeah, to answer the question, what's the best way to become a successful entrepreneur? First, define what success is for you. Success is different for a lot of people. For me, it's a state of being contented, not wanting anything. For some people, it's a 1 billion pesos, a 1 million pesos, a billion dollars. It's different, right? Per person, it's different. So define what success is for you. And success for me is a state of being in contentment, not wanting anything. And for me, in order to achieve that, that means that I'm making enough revenue for myself, for my family, for my future, and I don't have to worry about anything. And in the spiritual level, that means being fulfilled as well. And what that means is my walk with God and my obedience to Him in His Word is aligned with who I am, right? So that is very important for me. And as far as I'm concerned today, even if I haven't really made, a whole boatload of money, for me, I have achieved that success in life that I longed for when I was younger. So you have to first define what that means and then work your ass off in being able to achieve that, and also make sure that you ask the Lord for help. At the end of the day, we are not just flesh and blood. We are spiritual beings, and we will someday when we die, we are going to be spirit. Where will our spirit go? There's only two places. The Bible says it's either heaven or hell. And what is important for me is that after you die, you go to the place that you want to be in, right? For me, that's going to heaven. That's being with the Lord. And I study what that means. I study how to go to heaven, because there are certain ways to go to heaven, and that's it. It's exclusive. The Bible doesn't say that all the roads lead to heaven. It says that Jesus Christ is the way, the truth, and the life, and that's it. There's only one way. You have to say that Jesus is Lord and believe that He rose from the dead, and then you put Him as master over your life and follow Him. That's the only way. It's a narrow road, right? We've all heard that saying. The road to life is narrow. That's the narrow road, and it's very difficult. As a business owner, it's very difficult to walk that narrow road, because especially here in the Philippines, where you deal with a lot of corruption, you deal with a lot of incompetence. When you see some projects, government related, it is frustrating. It's not just me who's saying this. A lot of people, a lot of entrepreneurs are saying it, and we all know it. It's not private, it's not secret knowledge. It is frustrating. It is very hard to be a Christian entrepreneur here in the Philippines when you're paying the right taxes. Where is it going, right? And the taxes are huge. It's colossal in our country. It's no joke. So you have to you have to live out your definition of success. I live out my definition of success, and I'm happy, I'm content. For me, as far as I'm concerned, I have achieved that. But you first have to make sure you know what success is for you in order for you to pursue it. Hope that helps. What leadership trend for 2022 would you recommend other leaders prioritize? I don't think leadership is a trend. That's something that I think is a very wrong way to see leadership. Leadership is all about serving others. There's a saying, if serving other people is beneath you, then leadership is beyond you. There is no trend. It is about serving other people. It is about being first, being there first. And what I do mean is, if there's danger, you're the first in line. If there's an enemy, you're the first to confront that enemy. Is if there's a problem, you're the first to solve it because you are serving the rest of the people behind you, right? That's what leadership is. It's not, I'm not saying you're subservient in the sense that, hey, can I get you your coffee? Can I fix you? Can I tie your shoelace? That's not serving others. That's being subservient. When I say leadership is about serving others, what it means is you're first in line on the you're first in the battlefronts. You're first in the battlefronts because you're protecting and you're serving others behind you. That's the kind of leadership that I mean when I say it's about serving others, servant leadership. And it has been the same. That's the only kind of leadership that I think is valid. We've seen that also in how Jesus Christ has led his disciples, right? So he showed them, this is how you pray, this is how you share the gospel to other people. And he told them, he gave the command to go and make disciples of all nations, but he showed the way first. He was there first in line in the battlefronts. He was serving them. Yes, Jesus literally washed the feet of the disciples. We all know we're not going to do that in business and in the workplace, right? But he actually kind of exaggerated it a bit in saying that this is me serving you, me the greatest, serving all of you. You should also do the same to each other and to other people. And that is true, not just in ministry, but everywhere. If you want to be the greatest, if you want to lead, you have to serve others. There is no trend in leadership. There is only serving others. That's it. If you're not willing to do that, then leadership is not for you. Okay, what other questions do we have? What were the most important lessons in leadership that you learned in 2021 that are integral for you now? Oh, um, I guess one thing that I learned that has surfaced now, top of mind, is I should listen to my gut more. I should listen to my gut more. If my gut is telling me something, I should listen to it more. So I made the wrong decision of going ahead and um, hanging myself out to dry for one team member in SEO Hacker. And in exchange, of course, I expected loyalty and gratitude and utang na loob, right? Because that's what I would have if someone went ahead for me and did me a big favor. And I had my hesitations in doing that. I had my hesitations. I didn't think I should have done that for this person, but I did. And it didn't take too long. It's not even been a year, and that person has has turned tails and suddenly decides to leave. So I should have listened to my gut that this person would not have gratitude about what I was about to do, and would not be, more loyal to the team, would not be willing to serve the team better longer. So yeah, I should have listened to my gut more. I guess that's one. Um, Another leadership lesson would be the importance of. I guess I've seen the importance of being together in an office, right? So working from home, there's tons of articles, written about working from home and working remotely during 2020 and 2021. But I could still tell you right now that there is no substitute to being able to work together in an office. There is no substitute because in terms of morale, in terms of the relationships, it is still going to be extremely, stronger compared to working remotely and working from home. It cannot Working from home cannot beat the type of strength that you will have in terms of relationships when you are working together in an office. And not all people can work well without that strong relationship bond. Not all people. In fact, here in our country, I think that a lot of people rely on that strong relationship bond in order for them to do their best work. Because a lot of Filipinos are more emotional than rational or logical. That is fact. And that is also true in the workplace. So, for a lot of people who have, for example, like in our case, we have a very young team, emotions are not uncommon. People being emotional, people wanting to build relationships, people wanting to have that kind of connection that is strong. So I could say and I could see that working together in an office in one place, seeing each other, being able to, have some physical touch, a high five, shaking of hands and stuff, that is still priceless. That is still something I will not trade for working from home. Even if I am enjoying working from home, I have more time with my family. I have a newborn baby who's just turned 4 months old. I have enjoyed working from home a lot, but nothing will compare to working in an office with your people in the team. And I guess that's another leadership lesson that surfaced from 2021 to today. And another one would be what I mentioned earlier about burnout. And I wrote that in the blog, sean.c/ideas. You could check the article that is entitled "Missing Burnout" because I didn't feel burned out. I didn't see that I was burning out, but I in fact was already burned out for a couple of months in already actually. And I guess that lesson for me was I should plan ahead because I can't see myself. I don't know when I'm being burned out already because I really love what I do. That's the thing. So yeah, hope that helps. Hope that makes sense for you, and hope that provided value to you. Um, what other questions do we have from Pam? What leadership practices? What are some leadership practices to empower your workforce? So again, going back to empowerment is all about making sure that you have your people's backs. When they make mistakes, you're not there to kick them while they're down, to shoot the wounded. Instead, you you're there to tell them, hey, it's okay. Making mistakes is okay. You got to get back up and you got to try again. Now, pay for that mistake so long as you learn from it. So long as you learn from it. So, that for me is the source of empowerment. And then you can say whatever you want to say after to encourage them. You can tell them that you believe in them. You can tell them how much good work that they have done before in the past, or how much good work you think they can still do. For me, it's still going to be based on how well you take their failures, how well you support them in their failing moments. Hope that helps, Pam. What are the key leadership practices that entrepreneurs should develop? I think the discipline of learning and growing is very, very important. And what I do mean is you have to have that engine or that system that allows you to grow every day as a person, not just as an entrepreneur, but really a whole person. So you have to, for me, that's listening to podcasts that help me, to YouTube videos, maybe that helps give me new ideas, reading books, leadership books, John Maxwell books. I read John Maxwell books. a lot, and I still have a lot of books that he has written that I haven't read yet. Um, that is going to be my engine for my personal growth, and I think that is integral for leaders to have that. They have to have engines for their personal growth. Otherwise, they're going to find it very hard to lead, because if you don't pour into yourself, what can you pour out to others, right? You can't pour out to others. um, yeah, so having that discipline and habit to grow yourself is super duper important. Another thing that I think you should develop is communicate clearly. Clarity, that is important. Make sure that when you say something, it is understood, not just heard, but understood by your recipient. That is something that a lot of leaders miss. They think that if they say something, it's understood already and people are gonna follow. But a lot of times that is not the case. So you do have to explain to other people what you mean, and ask them if they really did understand it the way you intended for it to be understood. So I think that one is something that leaders should also develop. Entrepreneurs should also develop. And another one would be integrity. Be a one man person. What you show to your people should be who you really are, even outside of work. Don't be someone else outside of work, and be someone else whenever you're in the office. That is super important. A lot of people miss that out. A lot of entrepreneurs miss that out, and they lose authority, they lose trust. That is a very easy way to lose trust. If you're living a double life, there's two sides of you instead of being a one man person, and that just erodes your leadership, and it erodes your company over time. So yeah, I hope that helps. Those are things that I practice and I abide by. Sultan, okay, I don't know your name, but yeah, hello, thanks for tuning in, shout out to you. And I think we have more questions. I think that's pretty much it. So we don't have a lot of questions today. Maybe because it's the first time we're having this again. Again, this is every Thursday night at 8 p.m. Leadership Stack Live, and we are giving away another T-shirt. We are giving away another Leadership Stack T-shirt. So if you haven't gotten your Leadership Stack shirt yet, you haven't won any Leadership Stack T-shirts yet, we are giving away one every week. So it's going to be a raffle draw, and there's a lot of chances for you to win, a lot of ways for you to win. If you want to enter the raffle draw, all you got to do is go to the link down here, leadme.ph/giveaway. That's it. Put in your email address and you're in. Simple, super easy, and you can win a Leadership Stack T-shirt. What shirt are we giving away this week? We can roll that video. All right, there you go. Security is a myth. I am a risk taker. I'm not wearing that shirt right now. I'm wearing the SEO Hacker bike jersey right now. So this is already also a very, very nice jersey. So we do have a question from Lara. Better habits you plan to do this 2022. I actually got into the habit of sleeping early and waking up early. So I'm still not, I haven't locked in a super strict schedule yet. So yesterday, for example, I woke up at 5:30 and I was able to sleep at 8:30 p.m. 2 nights before, and that's super early for me. Sleeping at 8:30 p.m. I don't think that's sustainable. Waking up at 5:30 a.m. might not be sustainable for me. Also, there's no sun, and I do want to walk outside. I do walk for 30 minutes outside. I do like catching that morning sun. Because that's vitamin D, very healthy for you, healthy for your eyes, your skin, and it's just overall a lot healthier. If you didn't know, I used to sleep like 12 a.m. to 2 a.m. So that is an unhealthy lifestyle. It's not good for the liver, and I wake up also a lot later than I would like. I'm a night owl for the longest time. I've been a night owl. I do my best work at night, and I plan to change that. I'm 33 now. I'm gonna be 40 in 7 years. I wanna build a habit as early as now to sleep early and wake up early. It is healthier and it is the better way to go as you get older. So I do wanna change my habit as early as now instead of later. Um, Aside from that, I'm back to writing in the blog once a week. So I had the discipline before of writing at least once a week. I'm trying to get back into that discipline now. Once or twice a week, maybe. I feel like I'm gonna be writing twice a week pretty soon. Um, yeah, so check that out. My blog is sean.c/ideas. I do write there. I do publish there. I have scheduled articles there that's going to be published next week and next week. You can watch out for that. And I'm also updating my Instagram feed finally. After my 1000th post, I stopped updating Instagram. So this year, I am trying to get back into photography and also trying to shoot some videos, some vlogs. I hope I'm just trying it out. I like to try out a lot of new things, so that's something I hope that I could hone in my skill set and use as well. So, yeah, the biggest change would be the sleeping patterns. I hope that I could always sleep at 10, somewhere 10 a.m. and wake up at 6 a.m. That's a very good time to sleep and wake for me, especially because I like walking outside and stuff. Yeah, so far that's it. And also, I intend to work less hours, because I last year I worked like 10, 12 hours. um, there are days that I'd work like 14, 16 hours, and I don't think I don't think it's right for me to do that anymore, since I've been in business 11 years and I have like 60, almost 60 people. So I should change that. I should have more time for taking care of myself and my family. Yeah, I think those are some habits that I'm gonna commit to um, building this year. Good question, Lara. Hope that helps everyone, and hope you join the contest, the giveaway contest, leadme.ph/giveaway. Again, we are giving away that shirt. We have already given away a couple of shirts and they have been claimed. So, yeah, hope you guys win. And I'm glad for all of you are here tuned in. Thank you so much for helping us and for being here in the first episode of this year. I hope you stay safe, and I hope that you are also going to be blessed, even more blessed this year. Thank you, and if it's not too much to ask, please help share the video and tell others that Leadership Stack Live is back every Thursday night at 8 p.m. Thanks, guys, and Happy New Year, and I will see you next week.